I need to ask every time because it's just polite to 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 make sure that the recording is okay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So how are you doing today, Steve? I'm Alex from Heavy Music Artwork. Um, I don't know if you had the chance to check out what we do, but we're a heavy metal publisher, mainly focused on the art side of things. Been going for 10 years, and yeah, so it's been following your work now for two albums, and it's great to talk to you.
Cool. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at what you guys do. I've been doing interviews all day, but looks cool to me. I mean, a book is definitely different from what I've been doing all day, so it's cool to me.
Excellent. Like we had an interview booked, but there was a change of date. You guys have been on the road for a while now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're home now, but yeah, we've been on the road for the past 2 months. So yeah, I'm home for right now, so that's why I have time to do all of this. It gets hectic on the road. I did a couple interviews on the road, but it just turns into a shit show when it's you know 10 a day or whatever, especially when you have a show to play. So I'm assuming that's why I got rescheduled.
So since you have now a new record out of Metal Blade on the 28th of June, I believe, you've been super busy. So how's it been so far since you signed the deal with the label?
It's been good. It's been good. I mean, we pretty much signed like pretty much signed like 2 years ago. Uh, I mean, we haven't really done much as far as like releases or whatever. But I mean, we just been working on this record really, and I mean, it's been going good so far. I mean, they let us do whatever we want. Basically, they trust us to you know make the things we want to make and have it be good. So yeah, I mean, we have no complaints about Metal Blade at all. I mean, they definitely help us out a lot, and getting us kind of weathered to the whole business side of things, which we're not very good at. It's like new to us, so it's been good.
So you've been mainly touring the US. Are you any plans to tour in Europe as well?
Yeah, we just did Europe,
All right,
and
okay, that's good.
yeah, we just did that in the beginning of the year, and then we're going back at the end of the year. So, I mean, we've mainly been touring the states for the past 4 years, states and Canada, and yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to come back to Europe a lot more now that we kind of broke that ice. But yeah, yeah, we're coming back at the end of the year.
It's really good that bands can still after releasing great music and have the right support from the label, still make an impact on the scene. Because you see a lot of metal underground bands that they just stay still. They don't seem to move anywhere. But yeah, I think you're a good example of a band that got picked up by a really good label and that released a very good record as well, and that is out there and getting the attention it deserves. You have a new album called the Manual Manic Procedures. Is it a tribute to Carcass in any way?
No, not really. I mean, we got inspired with the style of artwork that we chose for the cover by Carcass for sure, the like the collage type thing, but not really. I mean, we just got kind of that idea from them, but no, I wasn't really like a tribute to them or anything like that. But yeah, we got inspired by that for sure. And also to go back to what you were saying prior about bands not really um doing much or whatever. Certain bands, obviously, it's because they don't work hard enough. There's a lot of bands that are really great, but they don't tour. I mean, you really have to tour into the ground, really. I mean, to do anything. I mean, look at any band that's ever done shit. Well, definitely metal bands. You have to really, really tour. I mean, all like the biggest bands in the world, they spent years touring before they ever really made impact. And obviously, the label helps too. But the label didn't really come into art side of things until pretty much later, years later, until we fucking were already touring pretty heavily and kind of had that foot in the door type thing. So yeah, bands just need to work a little bit harder if they want to do anything. That's my opinion.
Yes, of course. Just by touring, as well as obviously making good records.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, bands have great records. Like, I mean, I can name one band right now, and not to say this band didn't work hard because I don't know, because I wasn't even alive when they came out. But a perfect example of some shit like that, Morbid Saint. They had an amazing record, Destruction System in the '90s.
Mhm.
No one, I mean, people know about that band, but you know, they're not like as big as they should be, in my opinion. But I don't know if that's because of them not touring a bunch or whatever. I mean, there could be a million different things that go into that type of shit. But I mean, yeah, they have a great record. They don't really do anything now. Um, so yeah, definitely having a good record is a huge part of that. But also there's a whole bunch of shit that a lot of people don't understand that go around. You can't just have a great record. You have to really do a lot of shit, stuff like this around that. You know what I mean? And people don't get that, and it gets it gets tiring, but it's all worth it in the end. It's all towards something, so it's worth it.
And forgive me if I bring up Carcass again, but the lyrics do remind me of Carcass a lot.
It's a mix between me and our bass player. I mean, it's just there's no real kind of key to it. It's just I think that it's pretty much an extension of what we've already been doing, but just a little bit more mature in my opinion. There's no like meaning behind it. There's meaning behind the shit, obviously, like the songs, and there's like a whole like what it's about, but there's no like message behind it or like deeper thing than what it is. It's just kind of each song is just about its own thing, and there's no like concept, there's no whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, it's like a nod to the old school stuff. This stuff has been going on forever. But I mean, yeah, like I said before, fucking, you have violent music, you gotta have violent lyrics to go along with that. So it's just
Of
kind of what
course.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, it must be in a way. I was having the same conversation with Autopsy because obviously they've been around for a long time, and if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you the same question. Like, how do you uh, write these kind of themed lyrics without without sounding repetitive or boring? Because if you pick any death metal band, the aim is the same, right? But how what do you do to stand out from the others, or even
Um,
stand out from previous lyrics that you wrote?
well, I mean, in the beginning, I guess we kind of had like it was almost like a humor to it, you know. And we have a song called "Itty Bitty Pieces." It's like kind of cute, you know what I mean? It's like endearing in a way, you know what I mean? But
Yep,
so we
yeah,
had
your
shit
pocket.
like that. Yeah, it's like a baby thing. It's like a child wrote it, you know what I mean? But it's still good. So I mean, like even we had stuff like that in the beginning, and then you know, in the on the last record we had a song about um like why are why are why are cows the only thing allowed to roam free? But you know what I mean? Like that type shit. It doesn't make any sense, but it's kind of cute. But I mean, even now we're maturing a little bit into more serious stuff, but it's still like it's just silly. I think there's like a silly part to our lyrics that people enjoy that shouldn't be taken too seriously at all. It's meant to be funny, but it's also meant to be. It's meant to have it make sense and have it, serve something to the song. It's not being cute or silly just for the sake of that. It's just I don't know. It's just something we think is funny.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean the lyrics on this record are definitely more mature, and I think what makes it stand out a little bit more is kind of the way that we phrase our words or the placement of certain things. You know what I mean? Where we put our words, and it's not just da 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 da. You know what I mean? Just singing as fast as we can. It's creative. I think personally, but I don't
You
know.
have
I
a
don't know. I don't know because I don't know why people like our band. I enjoy it, but it's crazy to me because we have a song called "Itty Bitty Pieces." That's fucked up.
you also have a song called Phallic Filth.
Yeah, it's about dicks. Yeah. Like stuff like that. It's just stupid, but it's fun. It's good though. You know what I mean? See.
But I like the songs are actually quite well put together, because a lot of death grind or death metal bands, with a similar, the songs often sound like repetitive but you actually have songs like well structured songs one after the other. So even though, like you said, some of the lyrics might sound silly, it really doesn't matter because
Yeah.
the actual music puts the lyric back together properly.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
you can tell. I think you can tell with our band that, like, we don't take our content too seriously, like as far as like what we're singing about. I mean, definitely in the old days, but you can tell that we're serious though about what we're doing. I mean, there's like, the perfect example is a band like Goodalax. I know they're from Europe. They sing about
yeah,
shit, sing about all this. It's stupid, but the band, you can tell when you see that we played a show with them when we were in. I want to say we were in Switzerland. We did a show with them. You can tell when you see the band live because I mean I used to listen to that band in high school and I thought it was hilarious and I haven't listened to them in a while, but we did the show with them and we watched them play and fucking yeah, you could definitely tell they were like a serious band. And even though their lyrics are stupid, you could tell they're serious. I mean, and not to say that all of our lyrics and songs are like that,
yes,
but
yes, of course.
you know, there's songs like that, but you can still tell when those songs are on. You can definitely tell that we're serious about what we're doing, and definitely live too. If you see us live, you can definitely tell we're serious about what we're doing live as well, which I think is what the draw is to our band personally.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen your live clips. Yeah, for sure. It makes you want to be there. And same with Goodalax. Like you said, the music, the thing about shit. But the live shows, they're a lot of fun. You've been
Yeah, yeah.
distracted. Who's there with you?
Oh, it's my buddy. I'm not being distracted. It's just funny what we're talking
It's
about.
fine. It's fine, man. It's fine. No worries. Is that your house?
No, I'm at my buddy's house right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I
just kind
hope
of pounding beers and hanging out.
I hope I'm not, you know, taking you away
No,
from your mates.
no, 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 no. You're good. We're having a good time. We've been doing this all day, so we're just having fun with it.
Oh, cool, cool. And so the other thing was the artwork, of course. And both albums very good covers, very different. So 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 how does the idea come up? Do you work with the artist or you just give free reign, as they say?
Yeah, I mean we mainly just kind of well really the one that does like most of the visual as far as like the album arts and stuff like that. I mean I came up with the demo we did in 2020 and yeah, a guy named Nightmare Imagery did that, but with Slave to the Scalpel and this record it was our bass player that had those ideas, and he kind of just sketched it out very shittily because none of us draw or do art or any of that shit, but he sketched it out very shittily just to kind of lay out an idea of what we wanted for the record cover, and he would send it to the artist. And then, obviously, the way that we do it, we don't want someone to just because we ran into this issue before, where it's like someone will just go and just do their thing, and then spend all this time on the cover, and then we get the final product and we hate it, and then we have to change it, and then they get pissed off and they're like, well, "Why the fuck wouldn't you tell me that in the beginning?" And so the way we do it now is we basically have each time we'll get an initial sketch, right? If we like the sketch, we'll tell them, okay, cool. Maybe do this with it, maybe do that with it, right? And then they'll change whatever we want, and then they'll send us another sketch, and then cool, we're cool with that. Now add to that, and then each step of the way, we'll either approve shit or we'll decline it, and then tell them to change whatever we want. So that way we can have our input through it throughout the whole process. But we don't really tell them how to do their job. We just tell them what we like and what we don't like. That's basically it. And the guy that did this one, there wasn't a whole lot of editing really done at all with this because he killed it from the get go. So we were happy with it pretty much from the beginning.
So what do you like the most about the artwork?
I like it that it looks like well, it pretty much is, but I like it that it looks like really realistic. I mean, it's really that guy, the guy that made that album art. That's him on the cover.
All right, okay.
Yeah, because he took a photo of himself on a stretcher or whatever the hell he's on, and then he pretty much painted over it. Obviously with the gore stuff and the fucking heart and the rib cage and all that shit. And then as you can see, he did some cut and paste work. So that's actually him on the cover, the guy that did the artwork, which is also kind of cool little like Easter egg type thing.
Uh, even in grindcore or if death metal in general, you don't often see this kind of album covers anymore. I think this was more popular in the 90s or early 2000s. It's nice that it made a comeback. Because
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
our biggest, well, my biggest thing with this record was were we gonna get, because we never been with like a big label, you know what I mean? We never, I mean, any of our bands even prior to this, we never been with a big label, legit business or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So my concern with this record was, are we gonna have problems with like, Europe with like retail and shit, and who's gonna want this, and are we gonna have to come with an alternate cover? Which we've only had one issue in one country, which is Germany. So we had to come up with an alternate cover for that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, we definitely tried to make it a little bit stand. We tried to make it stand out as much as we can from like the typical, um, like death metal slam type, gory artwork, which I think we achieved. But yeah, that was really my only concern with this was like, are people gonna, you know, take this record? Are people gonna sell this record? And we've only had one issue so far, so far so good.
Yeah, it's usually Germany. Cannibal Corpse say the same thing. It's usually Germany
Yeah,
that censor the artwork. I find it very bizarre. I mean, like, is there like an office in government with a
I,
pile of
I think
a pile of records that
I
to
think
sift
it's the
through?
government. I think it's the government that does that, but I really honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. I mean, I think it's kind of lame personally, but I mean, if we want, I don't know how this shit works. I'm just assuming that this is how it works, right? So I'm assuming if we're putting a record out in Germany or in some other country or wherever, and there's stores that are picking it up, and you're in fucking Best Buy or something, and that album cover, if we want it on the front, like the front where people see it,
Mhm.
and there's like children and shit. I guess I get that. It's kind of
Of
lame. I
course,
don't really care
of course.
because a child's not even gonna be able to process what that is. You know what I mean? In my mind. But I mean, I personally don't give a shit either way. I mean, as long as it has our logo on it, I don't care. As long as
Mhm.
our logo's on it and the music's there, I don't care. And then you can take the slipcover off and see the real artwork. I really don't care either way. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, what matters is are the songs good?
Yeah,
That's 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 what's important if you want to buy a good record.
right. And I mean, even look at bands like look at all the bands that have had shit banned in certain countries. I mean, it didn't really hold them back all too much because if people want to, I mean, especially now, if people want to find music, they're gonna find it. You know what I mean? Regardless, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure fucking Suffocation or Cryptopsy, one of those bands, just played Saudi Arabia. If people want music, they're gonna find it, and they're gonna, what I mean, you're gonna have fans wherever, especially with like this day and age. You know what I mean? With like technology and all that bullshit. So I don't really think that matters all too much. I think the records now, like the physical vinyl, are really more for like the diehards. But a lot of people don't. Like the vast majority of people don't really even buy that shit. So I don't think it's really gonna affect us too much. It's irritating for sure, but I don't really think it's going to affect us very hard in the long run as far as like our career or whatever. We're still going to have people come to our shows.
You don't really see the apparent advisory sticker. You don't see that anymore, really. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to look at that cover and be like, this probably is not good for children, or
Yeah,
this doesn't contain good things. So it probably just wasn't effective. I don't know shit about it, to be honest. I just
yeah.
make the music, and I don't know anything about that type of stuff. I mean, I can reference a Cannibal Corpse interview. I think it was like early 2000s where they were talking about people back in the 40s where they were trying to like censor like Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley and shit. And some of those people are still around. So it's like they look at what we're doing. If they didn't like Chuck Berry, they look at us. They're probably appalled. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but,
I
yeah,
guess
but
I get it. I mean,
at the same time, there is a difference between Chuck Berry and like Tomb of the Mutilated album cover of Cannibal Corpse. There is a difference,
oh yeah, no,
right?
there is a difference, but it's just like it's not too surprising that those same people or the same group of people with those same ideas don't really approve of what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I get it. I mean, as long
Um,
as we're allowed to sell the record in those places or do whatever, I mean, that's cool. If we have to come up with alternate cover, I'm cool with that.
so do you also find inspiration from other places, like maybe movies? Do you have like a favorite movie or a favorite genre, anything like that that
Yeah, love
find
horror movies.
horror
Love
movies?
horror. I mean, we don't really draw like any inspiration from like any movie in particular, but I can name a movie that I love that's really fucked up. There's a movie called Deranged, and it's about this dude. His mom dies, right, and then she gets buried or whatever, and yeah, he goes back to her grave like weeks later and digs his mom up and brings the body back to his house and pretty much takes care of the body as if it's still alive. And eventually, the body rots and all that shit, and then he just eventually goes on this killing spree of people, and he keeps the bodies in his house as if they're living people. And but yeah, I mean, we don't really draw inspiration from shit like that as far as like anything in particular. We take that same kind of idea in our music, obviously, but nothing really in particular. But I guess the only thing that I could really kind of make a comparison to is on our first demo, we and this is only for people who were really there in the beginning, right? So our first pressing of our first demo on cassette, we had that movie Psycho. We had a sample from one of the scenes in that movie at the beginning of a song, and it went right in the song, and pretty much the lyrics of that song fit into that specific scene. But that's just pretty much as close as we ever got to being inspired by movies and stuff. And I guess you could also go into like our synth stuff that we do on our records because we haven't ever taken anything like that from a movie, like a synth or like a soundtrack, and put it in our song. We make all of our synth stuff, but yeah, I mean, we take that same kind of vibe, like a horror movie or a scary movie or whatever, and that same type of creepy synth stuff. We do that same stuff on our records. So I guess we do draw inspiration from that, but nothing really in particular.
It's very common that some go grind bands use movie samples at the beginning of the songs or even during the song. One band that
Yeah,
comes to mind is Meat Sheet. They use a lot of movies at the beginning of the songs. Sometimes that part is even
yeah,
longer than the actual song, which is bizarre. But it kind of sets the scenes, right? It sets the mood.
yeah,
Again, I don't want to go talk about Carcass too much, but I think that's one thing Carcass did really well is setting the mood.
yeah, for sure. I mean, and even were you just talking about Mortician? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, no, Carcass, but yeah, you're right, Mortician as well, and
Yeah,
Meat
Mortician does
Sheet.
the same thing. Mortician does a lot
Yes,
of
yes, yes,
samples. I mean, straight from whatever. So they set the mood with that, and
yeah.
obviously Mortician isn't as like articulate as something like Carcass is, but especially in the later Carcass stuff. But same idea. You know, we like that type of stuff, but we don't like taking anything from movies and doing all that shit because we like making our own stuff. And not to knock the bands that do that, but we like really getting down and going into the synth thing and making our own stuff and it's original. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people ask us, we'll be on tour or whatever, doing interviews, and people ask us that same thing. They're like, "Well, what movie did you get this sample from?" And we're like, "We made that. We literally recorded that on a synth. Like we made that, And a lot of people are fucking mind blown by that, which I don't know why, because synths are a thing and people have them in studios pretty regularly. But yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to, I mean, even in our live show one day to get actual like synth players to play those samples and stuff like that. But that's a whole different story, though. I'm just rambling.
No, no, it's cool. It's all cool. Um, right. I don't have any more questions. I just wanted to say one last thing. Um, anyone listening to this, do get manual maniac procedures. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, yeah.
And catch 200 stab wounds on tour. And yeah, I love the record. I love the band. I love the cover. So again, anyone listening to this, go for it.
Are we
Any
live
last
right now?
words? Yeah, we are. No,
Oh, we're
not live,
live.
live. Recording.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought we were like live on the internet somewhere. Yeah. I mean, last words, fucking. Yeah. I mean, where are you located? Where are you from?
I'm actually Italian, but I live in the UK.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, shit, we're going to Italy in the fall. So catch us in Italy. We're also going to the UK in the fall on that same tour. So catch us there. If you're in the States listening to this shit or reading this shit, catch us in the States. We're always on tour. Fucking thanks for the support.
And which tour would be for the UK?
We're going out with Gatecreeper and Forced.
Okay. Oh, cool. Very cool. I
Short
love
bill. I don't know if there's
Gatekeeper.
going to be locals on the shows or not, but short bill, 3 bands, quick, easy night,
Very
fun.
good. Yeah, very
Fuck
good.
out.
Very
Sick.
good.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. I wish you all the best and take care.
Thanks, dude. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Hey folks, thanks for watching this podcast. If you enjoyed this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friend, your family, and your cat, and stay awesome. Don't forget to check out our store at www.headingmusicartwork.com. Ciao for now.